Did you know that our solar system's planets don't always move in the direction we think they do? It's true. From our earthly vantage point, there are times when it appears as though a planet is moving backward in its orbit. Imagine you're watching a car race, and for a moment, one of the cars seems to be going in reverse. It's not really reversing, of course, but from your perspective, it sure looks that way. This is similar to what happens in our cosmic neighborhood. Now, in the grand arena of the cosmos, this backward dance has a special name: retrograde. Yes, you heard it right. Retrograde, a term that has intrigued astrologers and stargazers for centuries. It's a celestial ballet, a planetary pirouette that has significant implications for astrology. This apparent reversal in a planet's orbit is what we call a retrograde. But what does this mean for us and our astrological signs? Stay tuned as we dive deeper into this captivating cosmic phenomenon. To comprehend the concept of retrograde, we need to understand planetary motion. Now, when we talk about planetary motion, we're talking about the way planets move in their orbits around the sun. It's a bit like a cosmic dance, with each planet pirouetting at its own pace. Retrograde motion is a fascinating aspect of this celestial ballet. But here's the thing, it's not quite what it seems. It's more of an optical illusion than a real backward movement. Let's simplify it with a relatable scenario. Picture yourself in a car on a highway. You're overtaking a slower vehicle. For a few moments, from your perspective, it appears as if the other car is moving backwards, doesn't it? In reality, both cars are moving forward, but one is moving faster. In the grand cosmic scale, Earth is the car that's overtaking. When it passes by a slower planet in its orbit, that planet seems to be moving backward from our viewpoint. This apparent backward or retrograde motion is merely a result of our vantage point here on Earth. It's a bit like a grand cosmic game of catch me if you can. Sometimes we're the ones doing the catching, and sometimes we're the ones being caught. It's an intricate dance, and the planets are the dancers, each moving to the rhythm of its own celestial beat. Now you might be thinking, that's all well and good, but what does this have to do with astrology? Well, in astrology, the motion of the planets is believed to influence our lives in subtle ways. When a planet goes retrograde, that influence can change, often in unexpected ways. So, in essence, retrograde is not about planets moving backward. It's about our perspective from Earth and how that perspective can affect our understanding of the cosmos and potentially our lives here on Earth. Now that we've grasped what retrograde is, let's delve into its effects on our sun signs. Each of us has a sun sign, determined by the position of the sun at our birth. But how does a planet in retrograde influence this? Astrology teaches us that our sun sign forms the core of our personality, shaping our basic character and preferences. However, when a planet goes into retrograde, it can subtly or drastically impact our sun sign personality. The term retrograde might ring alarm bells for some, but it's not all doom and gloom. It's a time of inward focus, introspection, and reassessment. Imagine a planet in retrograde as a friend who's taken a step back for some self-reflection. This friend isn't communicating in their usual outgoing manner, but that doesn't mean they're ignoring you. They're merely redirecting their energy inwards, taking time to reevaluate things. In astrology, this inward redirection of energy is what happens when a planet goes into retrograde. The planet's energies, usually expressed externally, are now focused internally. This shift can cause us to reassess aspects related to the retrograde planet that we may have overlooked or taken for granted. For instance, when Mercury, the planet of communication, goes retrograde, we might find ourselves reassessing how we communicate and connect with others. This introspective period could lead to improvements in our communication style, benefiting our relationships in the long run. Similarly, when Venus, the planet of love and beauty, goes retrograde, we might introspect about our relationships and personal values. This could result in a transformation of our approach to love or a shift in our aesthetic preferences. The energy of a retrograde planet essentially prompts us to pause, reflect, and reassess. It's like a cosmic nudge, urging us to look within and make necessary adjustments. These periods of introspection and reassessment can lead to significant changes in our attitudes and behaviors, aligning them more closely with our true selves. So, while a planet in retrograde might shake things up a bit, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a chance for growth and self-improvement, an opportunity to evolve. So, a retrograde planet can bring about significant changes in our attitudes and behaviors. Let's explore this further. Each planet, when in retrograde, can affect our sun signs differently. Let's delve into the effects of different retrograde planets on our sun signs. Starting with Mercury, the planet of communication. When Mercury goes into retrograde, it tends to throw our communication, travel, and technology into a state of chaos. Misunderstandings may arise, emails may get lost, and your GPS might lead you on an unexpected detour. Especially for the communication-driven signs like Gemini and Virgo, a Mercury retrograde can feel like trying to talk underwater. Next, we have Venus, the planet of love and beauty. When Venus is in retrograde, our personal relationships and values may come under scrutiny. Love affairs might hit a rocky patch, or you might find yourself reassessing what you value in life. Taurus and Libra, the signs ruled by Venus, may feel these effects more intensely, possibly experiencing shifts in their relationships or personal values. Then there's Mars, the planet of action and drive. When Mars is in retrograde, our energy levels and motivation might take a hit. Projects could stall, tempers may flare, and patience could run thin. Aries and Scorpio, the signs ruled by Mars, might find themselves feeling more frustrated and less productive during this time. Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion, in retrograde tends to slow down our progress and growth. Opportunities may seem scarce, and optimism might be harder to come by. Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, might feel like they're stuck in a rut during a Jupiter retrograde. Saturn, the planet of discipline and structure, in retrograde can bring about a period of intense self-evaluation. You may find yourself questioning your career path, your long-term goals, or your role within society. Capricorn and Aquarius, the signs ruled by Saturn, might feel a stronger sense of self-doubt and introspection during a Saturn retrograde. Uranus, the planet of innovation and rebellion, in retrograde might stir up feelings of restlessness and desire for change. You might feel a sudden urge to break free from routine and convention. Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, might feel this urge more acutely. Neptune, the planet of dreams and intuition, in retrograde can blur the lines between reality and fantasy. You might find it harder to distinguish between your dreams and reality. Pisces, ruled by Neptune, might find their sense of reality altered during a Neptune retrograde. Pluto, the planet of transformation and renewal, in retrograde can bring about intense periods of self-reflection and transformation. Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, might find themselves going through significant changes during a Pluto retrograde. As we have seen, retrograde planets can have a profound effect on our lives depending on our sun sign. But remember, these effects are not set in stone. They are simply energies that can be navigated and utilized for personal growth and self-understanding. The universe is a vast and fascinating place, with retrograde planets adding another layer to its complexity. That's right, folks. We've journeyed through the cosmos, delved into the enigma of retrograde planets, and discovered how these celestial bodies can influence our sun sign personalities. In the grand scheme of things, retrograde motion is a natural part of our cosmic dance. It's not about planets moving backwards, but an optical illusion created by their relative movements around the sun. It's a celestial ballet, with each planet pirouetting at its own pace, creating a captivating display of cosmic choreography. We've explored how each sun sign can be influenced when the planets decide to do their retrograde dance. Whether it's Mercury sparking communication breakdowns, Venus stirring up relationship issues, or Mars fueling inner conflicts, each planet brings its own unique flavor to the retrograde mix. But remember, these influences aren't meant to incite fear or dread. Instead, they provide a chance for introspection, for us to pause, reflect, and reassess our paths. A retrograde period can be a time of profound personal growth, if we choose to see it that way. For instance, a Mercury retrograde could be your chance to reassess how you communicate with others. A Venus retrograde might prompt you to reevaluate your relationships and what you value most. And a Mars retrograde could be the perfect time to reflect on your ambitions and how you assert yourself in the world. These celestial events are the universe's way of nudging us towards self-improvement. They're cosmic wake-up calls, encouraging us to examine the areas of our lives that may need a little fine-tuning. So, the next time a planet goes into retrograde, don't fear. Instead, see it as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Remember, the stars are not against you. They're merely guiding you. So go forth and embrace the retrograde. After all, the universe is on your side.